decided I would do a feed for now. It's been a while, and I apologize. Decided I would do a playthrough of Dragon Age, and so I'm gonna go and do the Quinari, and I'm gonna do the let's see, I'm gonna do the warrior two-handed, do it normal. It's been a while since I played this game. Last time I played Rogue and was having some difficulties further in the game, so I thought I would try the Warrior class. So here we go. I'm going to do, let's see, do the head, let's see, general, face shape.
As long as the job gets done, I don't care about the rest.
First of all, I don't want a female, huh? Why is it making me do a female? I mean, I have nothing against female, but I just wanted to do a male, and I don't know what the deal is here. Let's see. New game. Quinari. Two-headed normal. Okay. I'm gonna try this again.
As long as the job gets done, I don't care about the rest.
I don't know what the deal is here. see here. I don't know why I didn't realize that before. Okay, we're going over to 200, of course. Alright, continue. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm checking something. My bad. Let's see. The horns. Honestly, without the horns, I don't really like them. It seems so weird. I mean, I don't want him bald, but I like to go with something like kind of do a little mohawk with the let's do that. No, in between. You know what? I am gonna go without the horns. Just something different. He really doesn't look that great without horns. And we're gonna go with these.
Everything you've heard, completely true.
You leave me no choice!
Everything you've heard, completely true.
You leave me no choice! You leave me no choice! You leave me no choice!
No, 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 no. I did not mean to keep that name.
Tell me why we shouldn't kill you now. The Conclave is destroyed. Everyone who attended is dead. Except for you.
Really? That's horrible.
What do you mean everyone's dead?
Explain this.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I don't know what that is, or how it got there.
You're lying!
We need him, Cassandra.
I can't believe it. All those people... dead.
Do you remember what happened? How this began?
I remember running. Things were chasing me, and then... a woman.
A woman?
She reached out to me. But then...
Go to the Ford Camp, Liliana. I will take him to the rift.
What did happen?
It will be easier to show you.
Show me? Oh my. Must be worse than you feared.
We call it the Breach. It's a massive rift into the world of demons that grows larger with each passing hour. It's not the only such rift, just the largest. All were caused by the explosion at the Conclave.
An explosion can do that.
This one did. Unless we act, the breach may grow until it swallows the world. Each time the breach expands, your mark spreads, and it is killing you. It may be the key to stopping this, but there isn't much time.
I'm going to investigate. I'm going to investigate. So let's investigate.
You say it may be the key. To doing what?
Closing the breach. Whether that's possible is something we shall discover shortly. It is our only chance, however. And yours.
Let me investigate. Let me investigate.
I understand.
Then...
I'll do what I can. Whatever it takes.
They have decided your guilt. They need it. The people of Haven mourn our most holy, divine Justinia, head of the Chantry. The Conclave was hers. It was a chance for peace between mages and Templars. She brought their leaders together. Now they are dead. We lash out like the sky, but we must think beyond ourselves, as she did. Until the breach is sealed.
Ooh.
There will be a trial. I can promise no more. Come. It is not far.
Where are you taking me?
Your mark must be tested on something smaller than the breach. Open the gate. We are heading into the valley. pulses are coming faster now. The larger the breach grows, the more rifts appear, the more demons we face.
How did I survive the blast?
They said you stepped out of a rift, then fell unconscious. They say a woman was in the rift behind you.
Look, a demon.
Stay behind me!
Another demon? Oh, of course. Crap. Yeah,
It's over.
Drop your weapon. Now!
A demon attacked me. What was I supposed to do?
You don't need to fight.
Are you saying it won't happen again?
You're right. I cannot protect you. And I cannot expect you to be defenseless.
that's what I thought.
I should remember you agreed to come willingly. Take these potions. Maker knows what we will face.
Who are all your soldiers?
At the forward camp, or fighting. We are on our own for now. There! Watch out! If we flank them, we may gain the advantage. Make it take you!
Ooh, loot. It's a dead body. Ooh, demon.
Up on the hill! It attacks from a distance.
Okay. Just keep going this way. Anything this way? I don't think there is.
Ah! They're falling from the breach!
No, there's not. pretty sure I need to go the other way. But stairs. I'm going for effort. Keep going. Hello.
We're getting close
Thanks
to the
for
rift.
watching.
You can hear the fighting.
Who's fighting?
You'll see soon. We must help them.
So, this is my first playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition as a Quinari fighter. So, trying to see how it's gonna work out. I heard it was a good setup. We'll see. See how I like it.
Quickly! Before more come through!
What did you do?
I did nothing. The credit is yours.
I did that.
Closed that thing. How?
Whatever magic opened the breach in the sky also placed that mark upon your hand. I theorized the mark might be able to close the rifts that have opened in the breach's wake. And it seems I was correct.
Meaning it could also close the breach itself.
Possibly. It seems you hold the key to our salvation.
Good to know. Here I thought we'd be ass deep in demons forever. Varric Tethras, rogue, storyteller, and occasionally unwelcome tag-along.
It's good to meet you, Varric.
You may reconsider that stance in time.
Oh, I'm sure we'll become great friends in the valley, Chuckles.
Absolutely not. Your help is appreciated, Varric, but...
Have you been in the valley lately, Seeker? Your soldiers aren't in control anymore. You need me.
Ugh.
My name is Solus, if there are to be introductions. I am pleased to see you still live.
He means I kept that mark from killing you while you slept.
You seem to know a great deal about it all.
Solus is an apostate, well-versed in such matters.
Technically, all mages are now apostates, Cassandra. My travels have allowed me to learn much of the Fade, far beyond the experience of any circle mage. I came to offer whatever help I can give with the breach. If it is not closed, we are all doomed, regardless of origin.
That's a commendable attitude.
Merely a sensible one. Although sense appears to be in short supply right now. Cassandra, you should know, the magic involved here is unlike any I have seen. Your prisoner is no mage. Indeed, I find it difficult to imagine any mage having such power.
Understood. We must get to the forward camp quickly.
Well... Bianca's excited.
This way, down the bank. The road ahead is blocked.
We must move quickly.
So I'm moving quickly. I'm gonna go this way.
Demons ahead.
Glad you brought me now, Seeker?
Ooh, iron. And a burnt house.
So, are you innocent?
I don't remember what happened.
That'll get you every time. Should have spun a story.
That's what you would have done.
It's more believable and less prone to result in premature execution.
I hope Liliana made it through all this.
She's resourceful, Seeker.
We will see for ourselves at the forward camp. We're almost there.
Another rift!
We must seal it! Quickly! They keep coming! Help us!
Rest down. Well, actually, I don't think it's down yet.
Hurry! Use the mark!
No, it is.
Rift is gone.
I can do that
Open
right
the
now.
gate.
Right away, Lady Cassandra.
We are clear for the moment. Well done.
Whatever that thing on your hand is, it's useful.
You, Cassandra, the Most Holy? Haven't you all done enough already?
You are not in command here.
Ah, here they come.
You made it. Chancellor Roderick, this is...
I know who he is. As Grand Chancellor of the Chantry, I hereby order you to take this criminal to Val Royeaux to face execution.
Order me? You are a glorified clerk, a bureaucrat.
And you are a thug, but a thug who supposedly serves the Chantry.
We serve the Most Holy, Chancellor. As you well know.
Justinia is dead! We must elect a replacement and obey her orders on the matter.
Isn't closing the breach the more pressing issue?
You brought this on us in the first place! Call a retreat, Seeker. Our position here is hopeless.
We can stop this before it's too late.
How? You won't survive long enough to reach the temple, even with all your soldiers.
We must get to the temple. It's the quickest route.
But not the safest. Our forces can charge as a distraction while we go through the mountains.
We lost contact with an entire squad on that path. It's too risky.
Listen to me. Abandon this now, before more lives are lost.
How do you think we should proceed?
Now you're asking me what I think.
You have the mark.
And you are the one we must keep alive. Since we cannot agree on our own...
I say we charge. I won't survive long enough for your trial. Whatever happens, happens now.
Liliana, bring everyone left in the valley. Everyone.
On your head be the consequences, Seeker.
I think the last time I did this, I went the other way through the mountain pass, but so that's why I decided to go this route. I don't know how this is gonna pan out. We'll see. That's a bunch of dead bodies. Going.
Be wary. Another fade rift.
How many rifts are there?
We must seal it if we are to get past!
Quickly then!
Goodbye, favorite.
Sealed, as before. You are becoming quite proficient at this.
Let's hope it works on the big one.
Lady Cassandra, you managed to close the rift. Well done.
Do not congratulate me, Commander. This is the prisoner's doing.
Is it? I hope they're right about you. We've lost a lot of people getting you here.
You're not the only one hoping that.
We'll see soon enough, won't we? The way to the temple should be clear. Liliana will try to meet you there.
Then we'd best move quickly. Give us time, Commander.
Make her watch over you, for all our sakes.
Yeah, give me a minute, guys. I gotta get something to drink. Much better. Okay.
Temple of Sacred Ashes.
What's left of it?
That is where you walked out of the Fade, and our soldiers found you. They say a woman was in the rift behind you. No one knows who she was.
Excuse me, guys. I'm a little gassy today. Excuse me again. Oh my! It's a burnt corpse. Oh, yeah, we are in trouble.
Reach is a long way.
And we got it.
You're here. Thank the Maker.
Liliana, have your men take up positions around the temple. This is your chance to end this. Are you ready?
I'll try, but I don't know if I can reach that, much less close it.
No. This rift was the first, and it is the key. Seal it, and perhaps we seal the breach.
Then let's find a way down. And be careful.
Now is the hour of our victory. Bring forth the sacrifice.
What are we hearing?
At a guess, the person who created the breach.
You know this stuff is red lyrium, Seeker.
I see it, Varric.
But what's it doing here?
Magic could have drawn on lyrium beneath the temple, corrupted it.
It's evil. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
Keep the sacrifice still.
Someone help me! That is Divine Justinia's voice.
What's going on here?
That was your voice. Most Holy called out to you, but...
What's going on here?
Run when you can! Hold them!
We have an intruder. Slay the Quinari.
You were there! Who attacked? And the Divine, is she... Was this vision true? What are we seeing?
I don't remember.
Echoes of what happened here. The Fade bleeds into this place. This rift is not sealed, but it is closed, albeit temporarily. I believe that with the mark, the rift can be opened, and then sealed properly and safely. However, opening the rift will likely attract attention from the other side.
That means demons! Stand ready!
didn't know you were awake. I swear.
Don't worry about it. I only...
I beg your forgiveness and your blessing. I am but a humble servant. You're back in Haven, my lord. They say you saved us. The breach stopped growing, just like the mark on your hand. It's all anyone has talked about for the last 3 days.
And the danger is over.
The breach is still in the sky, but that's what they say. I'm certain Lady Cassandra would want to know you've wakened. She said, at once.
And where is she?
In the Chantry, with the Lord Chancellor. At once, she said.
Vain hope. Patient observation. Vain hope. Someone better at this than me takes over before the survivor expires. Note. In case. Day 1. Clammy, shallow breathing. Pulse over fast. Not responsive. Pupils dilated. Mage says his scouring mark is thrumming with unknown magic. Wish we could station Templar in here. Just in case. Okay. Ain't nothing else for me. Yeah. This? Huh. So wait, he got his own building?
That's him. That's the Herald of Andraste. They said when he came out of the Fade, Andraste herself was watching over him.
Hush. We shouldn't disturb him.
Why did Lady Cassandra have him in chains? I thought Seekers knew everything.
It's complicated. We were all frightened after the explosion of the conclave. Blessings upon you, Herald of Andraste.
I don't think there's anything in this one. Yeah, no. Yeah. Ooh, loot. A bag.
I believe Seeker Cassandra would like to speak with you. I believe Seeker Cassandra would like to speak with you. I believe Seeker Cassandra would like to speak with you.
I understand that, dude. Andraste's Mabry. You know Andraste's old mockery. He didn't show up in the chant. He don't show up in the chant. And if you ask those holy sisters, well, they'll say Andraste can't have had some big old smelly war dog. But all Ferelden knows is right. Our sweet lady needed someone who would warm her feet at night, and there's Andrande's mockery. By the holy prophet's side, if the fight against Venture, that dog would never hide. They saw the Maker sent him special, always loyal without pride, so he could be the sworn champion, companion of the Maker's holy bride. Oh, that dog, he guards Andraste, without arrogance or fear, only asking of his mistress just a scratch behind the ears. But then old McFareth gets to plotting, tries to lure that dog away. But even as they trap the prophet, her Mabry never strays, and there is Andraste's Mabry by the holy prophet's side. In the fight against the Venture, that dog would never hide. They say the Maker sent him, special, always loyal without pride, so he could be the sworn companion of the Maker's holy bride. Once they thought the wounds had killed him, but then they went out toward the fire, and Hezarian he shed a tear as that dog laid on the pyre. And there's Andraste's Mabry by the holy prophet's side. In the fight against the Venture, that dog would never hide. They say the Maker sent him, special, always loyal, without pride, so he could be the sworn companion of the Maker's holy bride. Yes, that's Mabry's the companion of the Maker's holy bride. A popular, if historically unlikely, Ferelden Tavern song.
That's him. He stopped the breach from getting any bigger.
Have you ever heard the story of King Bedwyr? Bedwyr, like most kings, nothing but complete loyalty from his subjects. He received the best way to achieve this was through fear. After all, those who feared him would never cross him or question his rule. Most importantly, those who feared him would always seek to please him. Bedwyr cultivated terror in his subordinates through the gleeful and unrestrained use of the contraption referred to as the Maiden. The Maiden was a hinged iron casket, as high, as wide, as deep as a man, and with vicious spikes within, meant to pierce through the poor souls locked into it, and stood in a place of honor in his throne room, often with a screaming victim inside. It. Political rivals, suspected assassins, treacherous, treasonous ministers, and the men consumed them all. But as time passed, more people were given to the Maiden for increasingly trivial offenses. The cook for oversalting the king's food, the page boy for dropping his sword. The Maiden cast a pall over the kingdom, and people prayed for deliverance from their cruel king. Then one day, a strange woman rode into the city. She called herself Ember, and was an emissary for a far-off land. Her leaders had heard, she said, of Bedouin's wisdom and authority, and she sought the king's counsel. The thought that he had earned the adulation of brother kings across the sea made Bedouin swell with pride, and he granted Ember an audience. They dined and danced, and through it all, Ember flattered and fawned on the king. At the end of the night, Amber asked to see the Maiden, the infamous device that had given Bedwyr all his power. King, giddy with praise, proudly presented Ember with the empty contraption. Ember looked at the Maiden, sighed with disappointment, and said, "This does not look terrifying at all. I should have imagined the spikes to be much sharper." Or grew red at their comment, and replied, "The spikes are sharp enough. Look, the blood that still clings to them." "But it's so small," said Ember. "Are only children and women its victims?" Bedwyr grew redder still. Replied, "Of course not. The Maiden has devoured many men." Ember shook her head and said to the king, "I do not believe it. Surely no warrior could fear this thing. A man like yourself, tall and not fit within." He laughed and saw a way to prove the merit of the Maiden to Ember. "I will show you. Easily a man like myself could fit." He said that he stepped into the device, but Ember was waiting, and no sooner had Bedwyr squeezed himself into the iron casket than Ember slammed it shut on him. We took the maiden with the scream by her side through the castle and down into the city. We were finally free from the king's tyranny. Cheer and dance to the singing, they echoed through the streets. Till Brett was dead and it finally stopped. Tale often told in the singing maiden tavern. Okay.
Not taking orders right now. Got a problem with it? Bring it up with Cassandra. Still a lot of rifts left all over. Little cracks in the sky. He can feel this, the Herald of Andraste.
Patient observations day 3. Less thrashing, some response to stimulus. Vitals seem solid. 2 attempts so far by locals to break into the chantry to kill my patient. All this work to save his life. Will they just execute him? Will inform Lady Cassandra I expect him to wake before the morning.
Good luck sealing those rifts. Good luck sealing those rifts.
Chancellor Roderick says that the Chantry wants nothing to do with us.
That isn't Chancellor Roderick's decision, sister.
Study of the Fate is old as humankind. For so long as men have dreamed, we have walked its twisting path, sometimes catching a glimpse of the city at its heart, always as close as our own thoughts, but impossibly separated from our world. Venture Imperium once spent vast fortunes of gold, lyrium, and human slaves in effort to map the terrain of the Fade, an ultimately futile endeavor. Although portions of it belong to powerful spirits, all of the Fade is in constant flux. The Imperium succeeded in finding the disparate and ever-shifting realms of a dozen demon lords, as well as cataloging a few hundred types of spirits before they were forced to abandon the project. The relationship of the Dreamers to the Fade is complex. Even when entering the Fade through the use of lyrium, mortals are not able to control or affect it. The spirits who dwell there have as the Chantry teaches us, the great flaw of the spirits is that they have neither imagination nor ambition. They create what they see through their sleeping visitors, building elaborate copies of our cities, people, and events, which, like their reflections in a mirror, ultimately lack context or life of their own. Even the most powerful demons merely plagiarize the worst thoughts and fears of mortals and build their realms with no other ambition than the taste of life. For tranquility and the role of the Fade in human culture by the first enchanter, Josephus. Okay.
taken to Val Royo immediately, to be tried by whomever becomes divine.
I do not believe he is guilty.
The Maker, there was no word for heaven or for earth, for sea or sky. All that existed was silence. Then the voice of the Maker rang out, the first word, and his word became all that might be. Dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities, and from it made his firstborn. And he said to them, in my image I forged you to you I give dominion over all that exists by your will. Excuse me. Excuse me. May all things be done. Then in the center of the heaven he called the city with towers of gold and streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne, and sang hymns of praise unending, but their songs were the songs of the cobblestones. They shone with a golden light, reflected from the Maker's throne. They held forth the banners that flew on their own, and the voice of the Maker shook the fade, saying, in my image I have wrought my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done. That you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever changing, and he knew he had wrought amiss. So the Maker turned from his firstborn, and took from the fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart from the spirits, and spoke to it, saying, here I decree opposition in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life. And no longer was it formless, ever changing, but held fast, immutable, with words for heaven and for earth, sea and sky, and lasted the Maker from the living world, make man immutable as the substance of the earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, to you, my second-born, I grant this gift, in your heart shall burn an unchangeable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fate I crafted you, and to the fate you shall return, each night in dreams, that you may always remember me. And then the Maker sealed the gates of the golden city, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. Canticle of Threnodies, chapter 5, verses 1 through 8. Okay.
The Quinari failed, Seeker. The breach is still in the sky. For all you know, he intended it this way.
I do not believe that.
That is not for you to decide. Your duty is to serve the Chantry.
My duty is to serve the principles.
There are many misconceptions children of Andraste. Misconceptions regarding Andraste's bloodline. Monsieur, this is due, I should think, to a general lack of knowledge regarding Andraste's mortal life, understandable considering that many cults that arose following her death, everyone sought to claim her lady for their own culture or claimed some aspect of her existence was a lie. All of them complete fabrication, and my order has done considerable research to ascertain the truth. We know that Andraste and the betrayer raised 5 children. The eldest 3 were sons of Iseroth, Everin, and Verald. The rule of what was once southern Spencer was split along them. Iseroth was given the west, what is today Aurelis. Everin was given the east, what today is the Free Marches. I was given the central, what today is Navarra. What became of these men and their legacies is the stuff of legend, and the majority of the claimants to Andraste's bloodline link back to one of them. None of the 3 sons, however, were born of Andraste. They were born of the betrayer's concubine, Gilvin. People choose to overlook the fact that Andraste came from Elamari tribesmen, and that they were barbarians, not the Ferelden's we know today. They were savage warriors who took concubines in addition to their wives, and because Andraste was thought to be too weak to bear children, the betrayer took Gilvin to provide him heirs, which she did after her death. The sons were raised as Andraste's own. Later in life, Andraste proved predictions wrong and had 2 daughters by the betrayer, Eberus and Rivel. They were kept out of the public eye and not permitted to marry, though both had consorts. Eberus had but 1 child, Ali Vimar, who perished on a voyage to Denerim. less than a month after her mother fell to plague, and without children of her own, the younger daughter was more controversial, a strong-headed woman who divided her family by falling in love with a mage of adventure, Regulin. Viviel and Regulin went to self-imposed exile as the Andraste's betrayal and murder. What became of Viviel and her descendants is largely unknown for the one primary reason: she had only one daughter, had only daughters. Each of those daughters only had daughters. They married into other families and took other names, and in the chaos of the Second Blight, all traces of survivors were lost. Andraste's true bloodline, if it exists, lies solely in the descendants of Viviel, and the suspicion of my order is that it produces only daughters. Thus, the claims of your young man, Monaster, are highly suspect. From letter about Sister Ellen of the Augustan Order, Dragon 912.
Please tell me if you find something. I believe Seeker Pentagast was looking for you.
Y'all gonna have to give me a minute. I'll be back. I have got to get something to drink again. My mouth is dry. Sorry about that. And I am back. Alright, so let's see what happens when we go into the, through these doors. Through this door. See what awaits.
Chain him! I want him prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that, and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
Sorry about that, guys. I thought I had my microphone still connected, and I didn't. I was just saying, but before I went in, that let's see what our fate holds.
I did everything I could to close the breach. It almost killed me.
Yet you live. A convenient result insofar as you're concerned.
Have a care, Chancellor. The breach is not the only threat we face.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect?
You. And many others.
But not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to him for help.
So his survival, that thing on his hand, all a coincidence.
Providence. The Maker sent him to us in our darkest hour.
You really think your Maker would send someone like me?
The Maker does as he wills. It is not for me to say.
Even if that means a Quinari is his chosen?
Humans are not the only people with an interest in the fate of the world.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order, with or without your approval.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new Divine. And then it will wait for her direction.
But we cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
If you're truly trying to restore order...
That is the plan.
Help us fix this, before it's too late.
Well, this is so like playing a new game. I mean, I remember this game, but it's been forever since I played this, so man. I forgot how good it was, and I hadn't even got to much of the meat of the game yet, and I forgot how enjoyable some of these characters were. Sorry about that. My alarm. Excuse me.
Do you think the mages will be able to seal the breach?
I heard some speak. I didn't realize any of Leliana's Oxman mercenaries were still here. Well, if you want new gear, you pay for it. Oh, you're him. Thren, Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
What do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies and iron in their hands. Both are important. Lots of people expecting us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under Ten Loghain Mactir, best commanding officer this world has ever seen. After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. Queen Honora offered my services to the Inquisition. It was a kindness. She knew I supported her father and got me away from the political garbage.
Your loyalty to the man you served is admirable, Quartermaster.
Thank you. A lot of people seem to think they know what happened at Ostagar, but I was there. Tern Loghain never betrayed his king. If he'd brought the reinforcements, Darkspawn would have just killed everyone. He did what he had to do to save our country, and we betrayed him. I apologize. Sister Leliana told me I shouldn't talk about this. Just forget it.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site, maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
Farewell.
Make her go with you. You find anything we need, let me know.
If the Inquisition wants to field decent cavalry, it needs better horses. I heard Seeker Pentecost might try to acquire suitable mounts from Master Dennett in the hinterlands.
Who are you thinking? What higher-ups are doing?
My uncle.
Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet, and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
It's not exactly what I'm used to.
Wrong time for style to dictate what you wear.
World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work, something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
How did you come to be here?
Come from a little town called Lothering. Long gone now. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight. Helped rebuild. Left when royalty decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Ended up here. Just missed the boom. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
You're still walking. That's always good.
True enough.
Who outfits the Inquisition soldiers?
Not me. I've got work to do. Can't be passing a sword to every blighter who signs up. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster. She'll set up requisitions.
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing traders to haul up here. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work iron to blighted dragonbone, if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done. You want something fancy, bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Can you help improve my arms and armor?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greaves, we'll take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
Goodbye.
Right. Something. Right.
So, oh crap, my first set of armor. I'm going to equip that, because that's better than what I have.
another time then.
Say so right quick. Inventory, weapons.
Are we going to have new nurses for the Chant of Light now? The Herald of Andraste?
Of course.
You built for them the Golden City.
Thanks for checking anyway.
And for a time you dwelled among them.
I'm sorry guys, I'm not gonna read everything anymore. This takes not in the mood. I may later, but I'm not really in the mood right now. Yeah, Apothecary. Okay.
Segret told me that he can't let the herbs go for anything less than 8.
Fine. We'll gather our own. Tell Segret. Look who's back from the dead. Again. I shouldn't be surprised. You Oxmen are tough as old leather.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making knows where, though. So, you're welcome.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you can pay me back by fixing the world. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are few around who can help.
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too. You're back. And in one piece.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
Farewell.
Perhaps another time.
You built
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go outside for these notes.
See reason, listen. We cannot stay here.
Why not?
We're Templars.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Blessing upon his parents and onto the maker.
So we're heretics, just like that. Should we surrender?
Yes, sir.
You're back. And in one piece.
You said you thought Master Tajan was working on something special. If it helps, I found his notes.
The old codger was on the edge of a breakthrough here. but he couldn't see it. You want some of these mixed up, you just give the word. Farewell.
Well then. What's the next quest?
And how much did you need?
What do dwarves do when magic gets out of control?
We call the Templars, just like the rest of you.
Even down at the bottom?
Let's go find this logging stand. I believe this is where this is taking me. I could be wrong. I know where I gotta go then. Huh. Here we go, got that dealt with. Yeah, sensing going a long way. Wait, what's this? That's something being built. Anyways. Oh wow, this is long. No, it used to being this long, but hey. It works out. Nothing in here.
Come on, you've seen our maps. Most of them should be
Still got demons pouring out of the rifts.
Nice work with those supplies. The smiths can use them to fit our troops with better gear. Might not affect you much, but our recruits will have better chances next time some monster flies out of a rift.
Let's see what's next quest. Alright, so now to the main.
Does it trouble you?
If it wasn't enough to close the breach, what use is it?
You did everything we asked of you.
And it still didn't work.
What's important is that your mark is now stable, as is the breach. You've given us time, And Solas believes a second attempt might succeed, provided the Mark has more power. The same level of power used to open the breach in the first place. That is not easy to come by.
Clearly you have something in mind.
We do. You've met Commander Cullen, leader of the Inquisition's forces.
It was only for a moment on the field. I'm pleased you survived.
This is Lady Josephine Montelier, our ambassador and chief diplomat.
You're even taller than I'd heard.
And of course, you know Sister Liliana.
My position here involves a degree of...
She is our spy master.
Yes, tactfully put, Cassandra.
It's a pleasure.
Pleased to meet you all.
I mentioned that your Mark needs more power to close the breach for good.
Which means we must approach the rebel mages for help.
And I still disagree. The Templars could serve just as well.
We need power, Commander. Enough magic poured into that Mark.
Might destroy us all. Templars could suppress the breach, weaken it, so...
Pure speculation.
I was a Templar. I know what they're capable of.
Unfortunately, neither group will even speak to us yet. The Chantry has denounced the Inquisition, and you specifically.
They still think I'm guilty.
That is not the entirety of it any longer. Some are calling you, a Quinari, the Herald of Andraste. That frightens the Chantry. The remaining clerics have declared it blasphemy, and we, heretics, for harboring you.
Chancellor Roderick's doing, no doubt.
It limits our options. Approaching the mages or Templars for help is currently out of the question.
Just how am I the Herald of Andraste?
People saw what you did at the temple, how you stopped the breach from growing. They have also heard about the woman seen in the rift when we first found you. They believe that was Andraste.
Even if we tried to stop that view from spreading...
Which we have not.
The point is, everyone is talking about you.
It's quite the title, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
I'm not sure how I should feel.
The Chantry has decided that for you, it seems.
People are desperate for a sign of hope. For some, you're that sign.
And to others, a symbol of everything that's gone wrong.
They aren't more concerned about the breach, the real threat.
They do know it's a threat, they just don't think we can stop it.
The Chantry is telling everyone you'll make it worse.
There is something you can do. A Chantry cleric by the name of Mother Giselle has asked to speak to you. She is not far, and knows those involved far better than I. Her assistance could be invaluable.
Why would someone from the Chantry help a declared heretic?
I understand she's a reasonable sort. Perhaps she does not agree with her sisters. You will find Mother Giselle tending to the wounded in the hinterlands near Redcliffe.
Look for other opportunities to expand the Inquisition's influence while you're there.
We need agents to extend our reach beyond this valley, and you're better suited than anyone to recruit them.
In the meantime, let's think of other options. I won't leave this all to the Herald.
What have your ears heard, Leliana? Anything new we don't already know about?
No, nothing.
Inquisition scouting report. This is the scouting report from that. Let's see. Scout the hinterlands. We avoided the fighting as best as we could. It is every bit as bad as we'd feared if the apostates are mad attacking anything that moves. And it appears that the Templars here aren't following anyone's orders any longer. We located Mother Giselle and are trying to protect her. But she refuses to leave the refuge until we've ensured their safety. That will be hard to do without troops to push the apostates, the Templars, out of the area. Commander Cullen asked me to make inquiries of the matter. Master Dene, a retired horse master of Redcliffe, lives in the area. We tried to contact him about obtaining better horses for the Queen, but we've been able to get through the lead scout Harding. Wait till about 6:30, and then I think that'll be good. Then I'll call it an end to this. But
Herald of Andraste. I've heard the stories. Everyone has. We know what you did at the breach. They might not know much about the Quinari, but you'll get no backtalk from anyone here. That's a promise. Inquisition Scout Harding, at your service. All of us here, will do whatever we can to help.
Harding, huh? Ever been to Kirkwall's Hightown?
I can't say I have. Why?
You'd be Harding and... No, never mind.
Ugh.
sorry, I was checking my phone. Pleased to meet you.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
We should get to business. The situation's pretty dire. We came to secure horses from Redcliffe's old horsemaster. I grew up here, and people always said that Dennett's herds were the strongest and the fastest this side of the Frostbacks. But with the Mage Templar fighting getting worse, we couldn't get to Dennett. Maker only knows if he's even still alive. Mother Giselle's at the crossroads helping refugees and the wounded. Our latest reports say that the war's spread there too. Corporal Vale and our men are doing what they can to help protect the people, but they won't be able to hold out very long. You best get going. No time to lose.
Give me a minute, guys. Let me check something. So guys, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to call it. Maybe get back on and do it a little bit here in a minute, but I'm gonna have to call it. Alright, yeah, I was planning on doing some more, but I've got to call it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll do another one at another time. Thank y'all for watching. Peace, y'all.